Test cricket only. I think it's, you play 2 years of good cricket and then you play on a neutral venue against an opposition that has, we've all played here before, but not against the same nation. So, look, I think it's great. It's a great reward for the two best teams. And as I just said before, you've got two world-class bowling attacks, bowling of a Duke ball on foreign land. So it's great, and we're excited for that.
Yeah, I know you say short ball's a problem for a couple of weeks' time, but have you sort of seen what he's done against the Irish in the past week and had it led into the Ashes?
I haven't seen. I saw his figures. I'd like to see the dismissals, but yeah, look, from that perspective, it's 5 Test matches, all 5 tests for any bowler, even our camp as well. It's going to be tough to keep backing up. Different, they've got different speeds as well. That Woody's there as well. How they're going to use him. Big miss for them is obviously Jofra, who they can mix with both of those guys as well. So, each team has that aggressor, and that's what you strengthen your bowling unit on. So, from their perspective, they got their own headaches with their selections. And for us, it's just worrying about sort of the new guys that we haven't faced over here. Haven't faced Ollie Robinson in these conditions. Potsy's obviously bowling well, and Tongue as well. He's debutant. So these guys we haven't faced before. So they're guys that we'll have to analyse and see what lengths they're bowling. It's identical to the other lengths that the other guys have bowled in the past and have had success. So as a batsman, you've got to try and work out and identify how to put them off their lengths in England. And by the looks of it, for the next sort of 12, 13 days, the sun's supposed to come out. So I'm looking forward to batting in the sun for once.
Is it easy to wipe what happened in 19, like individually, when it comes to like Brody, or I guess just your batting in general over here? Like, is it take one good innings, and then it's sort of that's all irrelevant? Does it matter? Like, what does it linger in your mind a bit?
Do I avoid that series?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, look, for us, it's part and parcel of the game. If people are bowling well, and I look back and look at the dismissals and look at both opening pairs, it was a difficult time to bat. I looked at the 2018 Duke ball compared to the 223 ball. It's completely different as well. So, it was a higher pronounced seam back then. They wanted to use those balls as well. They had that choice, and it was hard to tackle. And then once you got in, the ball still moved around for the 80 overs. So it was difficult. There was nothing to do with any of my technique or anything like that. If I am critical of myself, it was probably going away from my game plan, which is looking to score. So, I was listening to some other voices, which, from my perspective, it probably didn't suit my game. So I gave that a chance. I felt like I batted my best at leads, and that was the way that I normally played. So, if you can put the bowlers off their line and lengths and put pressure on them, that's how you score runs. And that's when I'm at my best.
David, you've got a pretty well-honed preparation for Test cricket over a decade. How do you know in the nets when your things are coming good? Is it footwork? Is it a particular shot that you hit well that you're on the way?
Yeah, look, you guys are sometimes our biggest critics, and you guys can see that as well. I remember, I think it was 2013, I was in the nets and I was copying it left, right and centre in the media about, getting bowled by Mitchell Starc and all the other guys, and wasn't in form in the nets. And I found that a bit bizarre, because I'm probably one of the worst netters going around. But here, I've actually been superb in terms of my feet have been moving, my energy's been moving, I've been up and about. And I've always said that I feel like I've come off the IPL, and in that format, you have to look to score. And I think that's held me in good stead for this preparation. I'm still looking to score. I think sometimes when I've led from, say, red ball state cricket into a test match series, I've gone out and looked to survive and sort of change my characteristics of my batting. So I think that's held me in good stead at the moment. And I've been practicing probably better than I ever have in the nets.
So do you throttle that back in the next couple of days before the test? Because you don't like to hit a lot of balls.
Yeah, no. Yeah, probably on the 5th, I think we have another sort of main day. I'll taper off there, and I won't train on the 6th. I do all my bulk of my work just beforehand, and then relax.
In terms of making the shift out of IPL to here, is that just old news for you now? You've done it so many years.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of playing all 3 forms. Like, for the game style that I play, it helps me more when I go from white ball cricket to red ball, because I'm in that mode of looking to score, and I'm happy to nick off playing a cover drive rather than front foot defence and getting bowled or nicked off from there. So I think that's going to help my game, and hopefully I can do that in this World Test Championship final.
When you started your career, everyone was bowling over the wicket to you. Now everyone bowls around the wicket. How much do you have to change your technique and mindset when you're facing those kinds of bowls? Because India will do it and then England will do it as well.
Yeah, look, it's only conducive if the wicket suits as well. From our point of view, talking to a lot of the right-handers, obviously face right-arm bowlers, you got to get into positions where you allow the ball to beat you on the outside. If I get beaten on the outside of my bat and my off stump gets rissoled, then you're not in the right position. So I've worked hard on that over the years to try and do that, and I think it's only happened once since that's happened. And you're going to get a ball that sort of angles down towards leg and can swing away. So if that happens, so be it. But I tried to do that last time I was here, but I was in a defensive mode. And when you're thinking about where's my off stump, if I play in this, I'm not actually looking to hit that through covers. Where if I hit that through covers, so be it. If I nick off, then I'm happy with that. So yeah, it has changed a lot since then as well, because I never used to do it back in the day. So we always questioned some of the ex-left-handers in the day about that. No more wide cut shots. You've got to actually create the room and space, and I think you see one Travis Head do that a lot. I think Duckett did a lot the other day as well. So, that's the blessing of a left-hander. We can try and create that room as well. So hopefully I can do that.
Is that going to be your approach to the summer then? Just whether it goes well or not, constantly look to score?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the mindset is, I think you look at Brendan McCallum. Like, I know the way that he batted when he played, it was a little bit different to what we did. But as soon as one or two balls were in a spot, he would just try and come down the wicket and put them off it. And I think that's a different approach, but that was his approach. So from an opening batter's perspective, it's going to be challenging with the new ball to do that, but you have to be brave. And I think in these conditions with world-class bowlers, you can't allow them to settle, and you can't allow them to put the ball in that one spot. So you're going to have to make some brave decisions and be content with getting out. As I said, like if it's cover drive or whatnot.
I've got to ask you what your thoughts on Rod's comments then about the last series.
Oh, the void comments. Oh, look, at the end of the day, he's entitled to that opinion. We all played through COVID. We all had the same conditions. I think he said something about no one played a test match away, but at the end of the day, we still spent, close to 90, 100 days away from our home bed. He might get a little bit homesick and he can't cope with playing under those circumstances, but we've all played Ashes series away. It's the same irrelevant of what you got. You had a golf course there. That's what they do. They like playing golf. They had a great resort. We had the same facilities. So, yeah, look, that's his opinion. For me, it's, I don't worry about that stuff. So.
Yeah. Is this your final test series, or do you plan to play Australia Test somewhere?
My final test series? Yeah. Well, that's pending on what you guys write and if the selectors pick me. You've got to score runs. I've always said that the World Cup would probably be my final game, but I think, I probably owe it to myself and my family. If I can score runs here, continue to play back in Australia, I can definitely say I won't be playing that West Indies series. So I think if I get through this and I can make the Pakistan series, I'll definitely finish up then.
The setup of this summer, it's just different. 6 tests in such a short space of time. Is it daunting? Is it exciting? Like, how do you look at it at this point where you're about to jump in?
Going back 12 months, it looked very daunting. Whether or not you're going to play this test match before the series, given that there's a World Cup as well. We've got South Africa as well. And then you got cricket on the back end of the World Cup in India. So leading into a home summer, it's going to be exhausting. And I think the boys, rightfully so, the selectors probably have been speaking to them about, the series that we are priding ourselves on. Obviously this championship, the Ashes and the World Cup's the big one. So for us, we've got to be up and about. Senior players, we have to put our hands up and take wickets and score a lot of runs for us to be on top. So if we can manage that and do that, I think whatever the future throws at the team, we'll be able to handle.
So in terms of identifying that Pakistan series as maybe an end point in Test cricket, does that help you mentally? Does it, now that you might have an end date, does that change things?
It can, but for me, I've always played every game pretty much as it's my last. That's how I've always played. That's my style of cricket. I enjoy being around the guys. I love being part of the team and try and be that ball of energy in the group. So I'll just keep working, working as hard as I can to get to there. As I said, it starts this test match against India, and I'm really looking